it is time for us to adopt a new company brand to encompass everything that we do. To reflect who we are and what we hope to build, I am proud to announce that starting today, our company is now Meta.
So what it does, lovely people, this is your host, Sir Kenzo, and this is where you come to get entertained, informed, and educated. So, I have been lost for a few weeks back. I happened to all the way to Dubai, and coming back home, I was in for a rude cultural shock. So I've been actually trying to get over it. It's not been easy, man.
Freak! Don't you ever know? Get out of here! Go away!
Thank God I'm blind.
Yo, I know some of you guys might have experienced this, but for me, but anyway, now I'm back, and for today's session, come for the knowledge and stick for the Metaverse. So welcome back, guys. So from the recesses of my conscious memory, having done mass communication and journalism in JKUAT main campus Nairobi, I can actually confess to have learned 7 mass media. That is from the history of mass media. Well, for starters, we had the print media. I'm sure you guys may have heard of the penny press era, and when the magazines came to be, the magazines and the newspapers came to be. Then number 2, we had the recordings, and from there we went to the cinemas. Then we transitioned to the radio. From there we moved to the TV. Then internet came to be. From the internet we had the mobile, and now introducing the 8th mass media, which is actually VR and AR. In full, that's virtual reality, which I have here, and augmented reality. Talking of the VR, let's dig deep into this and see what we can actually do with this headset. Stick around. So my people, if you want to use your VR headsets, there are numerous ways that you can actually use this device, and I can confess that I have not been able to achieve not even a third of what I can do with this device. But for starters, I'll just mention some of the things that you can do. So looking at this device, you might think of it as a gaming device. Well, you're true, and with the gamification theory, you'll be seeing most of the industries trying to gamify stuff that they're doing, be it in education industry, be it in the education sector, be it in the sports. So you can actually learn using this device. That's number 1. You can actually learn a lot of stuff. Assuming you want to take a tour around the human body, you can use this to see the whole process. Number 2, you can actually learn a sport. So if you want to learn something like golf, if you want to learn squash or tennis, you could actually use this device. Number 3, you can actually learn how to play instruments. So we have applications like the paradiddle and some, like you can learn how to play a drum set without actually disturbing your neighbors. You could actually learn how to play a piano, or maybe if you're a DJ, you can learn how to do the scratching using this device. So the possibilities are endless. Besides that, you can actually take a tour around the world. Assuming at the moment I'm in Nairobi, but I want to take a tour to Brazil. I want to see the stuff, the Jesus, what do you call it, that thing. If you want to see the Statue of Liberty in the US, you could actually use this thing. You want to take a tour in Dubai, this is it. You want to go to Bangkok, you want to go to Thailand, you want to go to Japan, Tokyo, this is what you use without leaving your sofa. Think about it. Think about it, bro. So besides that, there's more to this thing. You can actually meditate using this device, and it's really awesome, my guys. You can have your meditation sessions. It has an inbuilt speaker where it gives you the ambience, and you can actually have your mind think. You can actually trick your mind into believing that you're in some Garden of Eden, and have your your cool moments, cool down, you know. So it's this device, my guy. Watch out, watch out. So besides that, you can actually hang out with friends using this device. Well, I don't want to talk about the metaverse yet. We are coming to that. But with this device, you can actually link up with friends. Speaking of gaming, we mentioned that you could actually play games with it. So some of these kids, this Generation Z, my guy, they've been meeting up to play games on Rec Room. So it's like a gaming software or an application where people can actually meet from remote areas and play, let's say, paintballing together. So you can actually play games. Besides that, you can actually attend a live concert. This is where it gets interesting. I'm sure you guys, you actually saw the Astroworld event. That was actually one of the first events being held on the Metaverse. And we had, what's this guy? Travis Scott. The guy actually held his event on the Metaverse, and it was crazy. Guys streamed in from across the globe. Besides that, we had Ariana Grande, who actually hosted an event on the Metaverse, and it saw up to 40 million people in attendance. So my guys, before you call me to go to Carnival, tuende tukafinyane pale kwa line tukiibiwa simu, think about it. Think about it. If you can have a way where we can interact, meet together on the Metaverse without wearing our masks, my guy, me I'm on. So another event that actually happened lately was Justin Bieber's event. Justin Bieber actually hosted an event on the Metaverse, and also this guy, what do we call this guy? This, I'm gonna take my horse to the Old Town Road. Yeah, that guy, he actually hosted an event on Roblox. So you can see the possibilities that are there with this device. So more so, you can actually practice public speaking, because with this device you can actually simulate an audience, and you know, the way we used to do a mock presentation in front of a mirror before presenting your speech to an audience. You know, you can actually do it on the Metaverse. I mean, you can do it using this VR, have your script there, read it out to people, create rapport, engage them, you know, it's really awesome. And something else that's most interesting is that Netflix have actually integrated their software with this device, meaning you can actually watch your movies using this device. How cool is that? Yo, man, I think we are in for this is a new era. I mean, it's a new age, man. I think I'm so happy. I can't express how I'm feeling right now. Engaging with this device, I feel like it's a utopia. But you know, let me not get too excited, because it could also turn out to be the dystopia. But anyway, stick around. So my people, let's talk about the Metaverse. What is the Metaverse? Before we talk about that, let's take a tour back in 1994, where a show known as Today's Show, actually, they were actually having a conversation on what is the internet. Let's take a look.
Back now at 56 past, I wasn't prepared to translate that as I was doing that little tease.
Oh, that's
that little
right.
mark with the A and then the ring around it.
At.
See, that's what I said. Katie said she thought it was about.
Yeah. Oh.
But I'd never heard it.
Around
I'd never heard it
about.
said. I'd always seen the
Right.
mark, but never heard it said. And then it sounded stupid when I said it. Violence at NBC.
Yeah, I heard around
big
or
fight
about.
up in the lunchroom the other
See,
week.
there it is. Violence at NBC. GE com. I mean,
Well, Allison should know.
what
do you
is
say to that,
internet
Allison?
anyway?
Internet is that
Massive computer
right,
network.
the one that's becoming really big now.
What do you mean? That's big. How does one? What do you write to it like mail?
No, a lot of people use it and communicate. I guess they can communicate with NBC writers and producers. Allison, can you explain what internet is?
No, she can't say anything in 10 seconds or less.
Oh, Allison will be in the studio shortly.
What is
What
it?
does it mean?
It's a giant computer network made up of started from.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us what this was.
It's
So
like
they're
a
looking in the
computer
dictionary.
billboard.
It's not in there. it's a computer billboard, but it's
Right.
nationwide, and it's several universities and everything all joined together. And
Right.
it's-
And others can access it.
Right.
And it's getting bigger and bigger all the time.
It
Just
came in
great.
really handy during the quake. A lot of people, that's how they were communicating out to tell family and loved ones they were okay because all the phone lines were down.
I was telling Katie, and I've
But
been
you don't
talking.
need a phone line to operate internet?
No.
So now, here we are in 2021, and I'm here asking, what is the metaverse?
Don't know what the metaverse is? That's okay. I'm not sure anyone really does. But Meta, formerly known as Facebook, Microsoft, and more, are defining it as the virtual world that is the next phase of the internet. In this world, we have digital versions of ourselves, or avatars.
And we call this the Metaverse. And you're going to be able to do almost anything you can imagine. Get together with friends and family, work, learn, play, shop.
I've actually had a chance to, interact with some friends, asking them what they think the metaverse is. And well, I think the concept is still so green, and guys are actually having a concept, or rather an idea. So some may call it an online world, others may call it a virtual world where guys can actually meet and interact. So yeah, they all could be correct. We don't know. I think only time will tell. So when we're talking about the metaverse, we cannot fail to mention the some of the metaverse platforms which are already in place at the moment. Soon enough, we'll be seeing so many other organizations coming up with their metaverses, and well, that's where we're headed. And let's just take a look at some of the metaverse that are there at the moment. So if you're mentioning the metaverse, we'll have to start with one of the earliest metaverses, which is Decentraland. Well, a few months ago, I actually had a chance to interact with my friend. You can actually check out his YouTube channel, that is Metagrapher, and he was actually taking a tour around the metaverse, around the Decentraland actually. And I'll be honest, I got to know Decentraland through my guy, the Metagrapher. And with Decentraland, it's actually a place we could actually hang out in the casino, and you could actually play games there, and it's really awesome. You guys should check out decentraland.org and get to see. It's one of the earliest metaverse platforms, created back in, I think, 2015. Yeah. So besides Decentraland, we've recently seen Facebook's rebranding to Meta. With Facebook, they've actually introduced 3 metaverses, namely we have the Facebook Horizon venues, where you can actually meet up with friends. You can actually watch events. You can actually watch so much stuff, interact with guys. It's like a virtual space where you get to meet up with people. So Facebook also introduced Facebook Horizon Workspace, and this is where you can actually meet with your colleagues and have virtual meetings.
One part of this is Horizon Home, which is our early vision for a home space in the metaverse. Horizon Home is the first thing that you'll see when you put on your Quest headset. Today, there are already a bunch of options to choose from, and in the future, anyone will be able to create one. We've just called it home until now because it's been missing something very important: people. Soon, we're going to be introducing a social version of home, where you can invite your friends to join you as avatars. You'll be able to hang out, watch videos together, and jump into apps together. Then there is Horizon Worlds, which is where you can build worlds and jump into them with people. Horizon is designed to make it possible for everyone to create, and we're already seeing people build some really interesting experiences, from creating new games together to throwing surprise parties in VR that family and friends around the world can join. Over the last year and a half, a lot of us who work in offices have gone remote. And while I miss seeing the people I work with, I think remote work is here to stay for a lot of people. So we're going to need better tools to work together. Let's take a look at what working in the metaverse will be like. Imagine if you could be at the office without the commute. You would still have that sense of presence, shared physical space, those chance interactions that make your day all accessible from anywhere. Now imagine that you have your perfect work setup, and you can actually do more than you could in your regular work setup. And on top of all that, you can keep wearing your favorite sweatpants.
companies will actually make use of this, where they'll be discussing, their agendas, their, yearly objectives and whatnot. If they are working on a project, they actually meet remotely on the metaverse. And the good thing about this is you don't need to wear a mask, and even though you, the avatars are not simulated enough, from the head to the toes, it's just the upper body. I'm sure with time we'll be having these haptic suits, and you can actually jump into the metaverse, the meetings in a full body suit, and you can actually flex, but yeah, that's where we're headed. So Facebook also introduced Facebook Horizon Worlds, and this, it's actually at the moment it's only accessible by residents in the US and Canada. Boo Facebook, that's a poor move. But anyway, I understand we are in the beta stage, we're still in the trial and error, but we need to interact with this place. I'm sure there's a lot to be done with the Facebook Horizon Worlds. You can actually create a lot. If I come to think of it, my brain circuit just keeps blowing up. So that's just Meta's project. So with Microsoft, we've actually seen their project.
Started hearing people talk and chat, and apparently there are no masks in the metaverse. I was dropped into an area with lots of trippy little Lego-looking people, and I attempted to interview them.
You're a journalist, are
Oh,
you?
wow. I want to learn what you guys do in here.
Pretty much everything that you would do in the real world.
I knew I had really made friends forever when they asked me to go to a comedy club by clicking on this portal thing. The club was so obviously fake, but my presence in it and the presence of all these other people felt really real. Do you guys have wine?
Yeah, of course. Wine, everything you want. Just imagine.
I even felt awkward when the comedian hit on my avatar.
You're the girl that I was trying to find out your name, but I can't because my hands all. I'm trying to be subtle.
I spent a good amount of time in Altspace and came away thinking it's like an AOL chat room, evolved, which I'm not sure is a good or a bad thing.
So all these companies are trying their best to pull this thing, and which is great, because that's where we're headed. You can never beat technology. If you can't beat them, join them, my guy. Join them. So don't be too pressed into, I can only stay with my phone. Don't do that, bro. Go with the flow, ride the wave. So if you're talking about the metaverse, we cannot fail to mention some of the gaming metaverses that have been there. So I'm sure most of my viewers, you guys have been playing Fortnite, the Generation Z, this younger generation, these guys, as I told you earlier, they've been linking up on Roblox, and in fact, I'm terrified, with the millennials and the early and the older generation of the Generation Z, we actually thought that if you can actually operate a PC and you can actually run some softwares on your laptop, you can actually do some stuff on Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel, that you are actually technically savvy. Yeah! But watch out for these kids. Watch out, my friend. These kids are coming with a bang, because they're actually doing some crazy stuff. With the Roblox, they can actually own their own native currency, which is where we are coming. With Roblox, I'm sure you've heard of kids talking of Robux. So that's like a native currency used to buy skins and whatnot on the Roblox. Beside Roblox, we've had Axie Infinity, which is also one of the oldest gaming metaverses. We've had Illuvium, and we also have Sandbox. Yeah, Sandbox is actually a great metaverse, and this is awesome. I'm just loving this whole concept of the metaverse, because it's going to change how we look at work. Speaking of which, during my session, during my tour in Dubai, which was actually a youth speak forum, it was actually a conference. We had this session where we talked about designing the future of work, and now it's all ringing a bell. It all adds up. Besides that, we had one of the leading technical engineers in Huawei, the Huawei base in Dubai, and he was actually telling us how 5G is going to transform how we interact with work, because it's going to facilitate, it's going to facilitate all these artificial intelligence projects and the robotics projects, which are going to replace some of the jobs done by humans, some of the manual jobs. But guess what? With this device, you can actually work on the metaverse. So let's take a look at how you can actually work, or rather earn, from the metaverse. In fact, considering this is a financial channel, I cannot fail to mention money. So let's talk about money. Stick around with the possibilities present using the VR. So if you're talking about money, we did mention that you can actually visit the Decentraland metaverse, right? With Decentraland, the most interesting part is if you go to the Decentraland marketplace, you will actually find guys who are actually selling parcels of land. And in fact, at the moment, I think the cheapest land is going for about 3,000 mana, which is actually more than 10,000 USD. So mana is actually the native currency in Decentraland. Just as you mentioned, Roblox players use Robux, native currency, to purchase skins. With Decentraland, you need to have mana in order to buy stuff, or maybe enjoy some services. Well, if you're new to this channel, you've got to go back to some of my previous videos. We have talked about cryptocurrencies. So basically, cryptocurrencies are now the native currencies of the metaverse. The same way we use fiat currency to go do the shopping, you need to have the paper money to go do some of your shopping stuff. So with the metaverse, you actually need to have the digital currency, which is mana. And if you have mana that is on the Decentraland, you can actually buy the parcels of land. Well, the parcels of land, they are limited, and in fact, if you buy the parcel of land, you can build, you can actually rent it out, you can do a lot of stuff, and in fact, you can hold it and sell it later, just the same way we do with the physical properties. And I actually came across this company. It's actually a real estate investment fund called the Metaverse, called the metaverseproperty.com. You guys can go check it out. If you want to buy land on the metaverse, you can simply go to their platform and you'll get land. So the second way to earn on the metaverse is basically buying the native currencies, holding, staking, doing some yield farming. Well, I know some of these concepts may be too complex for you guys, but my people, we have Google, so you can actually buy some of these native currencies, like the mana. That is, if you're interested in Decentraland, if you're interested in Sandbox, you can actually buy the Sand token. And you guys, if you check my IG, I've been actually yapping all over about this metaverse cryptocurrencies. Well, it's because I see the potential in it, and I'm actually a technology evangelist, and this is what I get to do. So you do check out the Sandbox currency. You can actually buy these currencies, and the good thing is they are in limited supply, meaning you can actually buy the cryptocurrency, the native currency of the metaverse that you're interested in, hold it in your hot wallet or the cold storage wallet, and let it enjoy your capital gains. That's what you call hodling. Yeah, we're going to the moon. So please make sure you look into some of these metaverse cryptocurrencies, because they're doing some crazy stuff. Just this week, we've seen Voxel, a cryptocurrency that launched on Binance, and in a single day, it actually did a 1,300% gain. My guys, I said 1,300% gain in 24 hours. How? I mean, this is crazy. It's mind-blowing. So, number 3 way you can actually earn on the metaverse is actually buying the metaverse index. So the index fund, I was actually looking at one of the main index fund, and it's actually trading at around 230 USD if I'm not wrong. So basically the Metaverse index is it's like a stock whereby you have all the Metaverse cryptocurrencies in one. So if you invest in the Metaverse index, assuming the individual Metaverse cryptocurrencies actually go up in value, the Metaverse index also goes up in value. So number 4, the fourth way you can actually earn on the Metaverse is by creating NFTs. Well, I'll have to do a video on NFTs because this is actually a space that I've been looking into since March, and you know, it's really interesting. My only fear is that some of these NFTs might actually devalue, or maybe, let me not be a pessimist, but they actually make no sense. You've seen guys buying the Bored Apes, the Bored Yacht Club, all those NFTs, you know. We have a gazillion right now. So many guys coming up with NFT projects, and they're selling for crazy amounts. All you need to do is have your Ethereum on your MetaMask wallet, and voila, exchange it for an NFT. So if you want to earn on these Metaverse platforms, you can actually create NFTs, and not the JPEG NFTs per se, but NFTs like the, you know, like the 3D models. In fact, if you're buying land, the land itself is an NFT. It's a non-fungible token which is on the blockchain. Some other NFTs we have are like the assets, you know, the gaming skins, the avatars. Like I can actually have an Iron Man avatar for me, like if I want to visit the Metaverse. Although soon, yeah, guys will be expected to have avatars which actually look like them, you know, like in the physical space, especially when you're going for the virtual meetings. So yeah, you guys can actually create NFTs, and the NFTs, they range from the buildings, from the wearables, the space is huge. So you guys make sure you check it out. The fifth way you can actually earn on this Metaverse is by buying the Metaverse stocks. Well, there are a number of Metaverse stocks. This should actually be a whole video on its own, but one of the main Metaverse stocks that I've been looking into is actually Meta, and it's actually trading at a very affordable price. Guys, we're still early in these projects. In fact, all these projects, they have been supported by the blockchain, and if you're talking about blockchain and cryptocurrencies and whatnot, we are still in the early adopter stage. So I'm sure you guys are aware of the curve, the demographic curve, where we start from the innovators, we go to the early adopters, early majority, and then late majority, and the laggards. So just make sure you position yourself appropriately so that you can benefit from these projects. So the sixth and the final step in which you can actually earn on the Metaverse is actually by providing services on the Metaverse. So I've seen guys actually post up some advertisements on Fiverr as well as Upwork, where they are advertising their skills in, you know, developing Metaverse games, you know, creating wearables, you know, acting as guides on a specific Metaverse environment. You know, you can actually provide a service, meaning right now it's very easy, and it's actually the right time to be getting into the Metaverse so that you can position yourself in a way that you can actually earn from this industry. So that's said and done. I hope I've been resourceful. Make sure you stick around. Please do like, share, and subscribe to this channel. At the moment, in fact, I'll be waiting for you guys to like. If you've been enjoying all this information that I'm giving you, press the like button. Yeah, I'm actually waiting for you, bro. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and until we meet next time, hasta la vista.